This is a video of the ball control circuit that the University of Oregon does in advance of the main portion of their practice. And I thought head coach Jim Moore has constructed a ball control circuit and system that allows lots of movement, lots of touches. And for the most part, this video is not edited at all. These are the number of touches that they get, and you notice how much movement there is. And I wasn't sure if they switched by the number of contacts or every time a certain person came to the front. But you'll see as they started setting the ball back and forth over the net, or excuse me, they started forward passing, then setting, and now they're jump setting back and forth. And the tempo of movement I thought was pretty good, where it's set and move, because after all, this is warm up. But look at the number of touches that they're getting. So now they're forward passing to themselves and just spike rolling it back over the net to the partner. Nice ball control. They're not trying to do anything fancy with the ball, but they're working on contacts. And you contrast this type of warm up with kind of jogging around in circles and stretching out and that type of thing. And on a daily basis, as we go through this video, you can count the number of balls that are being touched, and then you start multiplying that by the number of days throughout the year, and it's a lot of touches that they're getting just in the course of the warm-up. So now it's more of a jump and swing type of thing. Again, not most of the plays taking place inside the 3-meter line, but it's just touches. They're forearm touches, they're overhead touches, they're warming up their arms, and they're raising their core temperature, which is at the end of the day, the focus of the warm-up. But I really like the way it's organized relative to the amount of movement that's going on. And I thought the players at Oregon, they've obviously done this before, but they're doing a nice job of just ball control and moving, getting behind the ball. So it's certainly not very sloppy, and you'll also notice that there's not a whole lot of balls that are hitting the floor either. So as they go through this, I'm like I said, I'm very impressed with just the mechanics of this type of ball control circuit. And in a second here, they're going to finish up this portion of it, and they'll go into more of a pursuit type thing, which it looks like they're starting to do now. Like I said, this tape is not edited because I wanted the audience to kind of get a feel for the number of touches and the type of movement and the time frame they're working in. And they go from one station to the next. So now it's moving and they're form passing the ball, and it's just basically kind of a giant circle drill where they go from passer to target to hander. And again, notice the context of the drill is ball control and warm up. So they're moving behind the ball, and at no point is somebody standing in place. Just constant movement. You notice as they go through this, there's some forearm passing going on. There's also some overhead passing of serve going on. There's going to be situations where you have to do both, and you want your players being comfortable at both. And as we start to proceed, then the serves start moving people around a little bit more. The other thing that you'll notice is there's very little cross stepping going on. Everything is kind of shuffle stepping to the ball, which is certainly what you want from the people in the backcourt, where they're constantly facing the ball, whether that means they're touching it with their forearms or touching it overhead. So again, I think the tempo is good. The person who's entering the ball, the assistant coach or the head coach of your practice, they have to have good ball control. So that ball's going right where they want it to go. Either they're driving it short, they're dropping it deep. So now they're going to get into more of a defensive type pursuit. And again, I think the focus for the purpose of this video needs to be how much movement is going on from the player's perspective. Again, this is the first 5-10 minutes of practice. So in a very, very short time, the players at Oregon are starting to get after it, and they're moving their feet fast, and they're pursuing balls, and some are rolling, some are running through, some are going to their stomachs. And again, I don't think the focus is exactly doing it right, wrong, or otherwise. I mean, obviously there's situations where you have to do all of the above, and they're doing all the above. They're running, they're rolling, and sometimes they'll sprawl to their stomachs. And I think Coach Moore is doing a nice job of putting the ball where they have to move fast, but if they move fast, they can play it. So it's not impossible stuff, but it's stuff that's just to kind of get people moving quickly. And I think my general statement is, if you want your players to move fast on the court, you train them fast, and I think they'll adjust to that tempo. So I think what Coach Moore is doing right now, it blends right into what they do offensively. They run a fast system offensively, and I don't think you can be selectively quick. I think you train your players quick or you train them slow, and if you train them slow, then don't expect them to all of a sudden be quick. So I think in this circuit, you'll see how the players at Oregon and the coaching staff certainly are setting a tempo for what their practice is going to be like, and for the system and the style of play that they're going to implement both offensively and defensively. So now we switch into more of a cross-court digging drill, and again, Coach Moore is putting this ball where he wants it. Very few balls are being hit directly at people. He's working on lateral movement and quickness, so he's hitting outside their feet, and certainly he wants them moving their feet and trying to get their body behind the ball. But obviously, some balls that's not going to be possible. So the players really have to take a big step out. They're reaching away, and they have to learn to control the ball and play that ball high to the middle of the court. So it's a very unscripted drill in terms of you're not just working on one specific part of defense. You're stepping out, and I'm playing the ball preferably behind it, but if not, I'm stepping out and I'm reaching to the ball, 2 arms, 1 arm, and working on good ball control. But again, the focus being, if you take at any point, you look at all the players, everybody's moving, everybody's digging, chasing, handing, rotating to be next. So again, with the idea, this is a warm-up. The players at Oregon are definitely warming up, and they're moving around the court, and it's all good stuff. And again, just to kind of repeat a point that I already made, look how many balls are being touched by the Oregon players, and how many times they've set it, dug it, passed it, and again, with the focus being that I really did not edit the tape at all. So we're 8.5 minutes into this warm up, and how many balls they've touched and how much they've ran around the court, and so obviously there gets to be a conditioning component here. And then the last part of the warm up is they're actually starting to hit balls. And again, what Coach Moore's doing is not anything hugely innovative. He's just tossing 1 balls. So obviously there's some coaching skills involved in terms of being able to accurately put the ball to a place where the players can hit it. But I think the main focus is, Look how much movement's going on with the players. They're hitting, they're moving, they're constantly cycling through, and we'll all chase the balls at once. So I think I think that the theme for this warm up is going to be can the club and high school coaches out there model their warm up where they can replicate this kind of movement, the number of contacts, and the tempo that's being placed, that will then be followed through within the main thrust of practice when you start working on skills, combination plays, team systems, that type of thing. So certainly in this 10-minute sequence the players at Oregon are getting themselves ready to play at 100% efficiency, and from that perspective, I was very, very impressed with what went on here within the context of this training session.